Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 3. Isaiah 26 verse 3. Isaiah chapter 26. Then let's look at the very verse 3. Isaiah chapter 26 verse 3. The Bible says, "Thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee." Thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee. Because he trusted in thee, we keep him in perfect peace. Also in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Proverbs 4, verse 23. The Bible says, "Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." Keep thy heart with all diligence, out of it are the issues of life. Keep your heart with all diligence, out of it are the issues of life. Sometimes in life, we are preoccupied with so many thoughts, preoccupied with so many things that we couldn't enjoy our moment. We are so overwhelmed that we cannot sleep. We are so overwhelmed that we cannot have rest in our soul. Sometimes we are tempted to feel guilty about our past mistakes, to be bitter over what is not working or what has not worked out in our life. Sometimes we are upset about the people who did us wrong. When we struggle like this to find peace, when we struggle like this to find joy, when we struggle like this to find passion, to find happiness, then it is because our mind has become cluttered. Our mind has become filled and preoccupied with so many things, to the point that things have been jam-packed in our mind. Our heart seems not to be settled. Our mind seems not to be settled. And because of that, we begin to be overwhelmed by what is going on in our life. The Bible says, for us to have peace in life, then we need to do some due diligence in putting our mind, our hearts in order. We need to get rid of those junks that is occupying our mind, so that we can have peace. He said, "You will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you." Very briefly tonight, I just want to share with us on a subject that I have titled, "Put your mind in order." Put your mind or your heart in order. Put it in order. Put it in order. In John chapter 14, verse 1, Jesus says, "Do not let your heart be troubled." Do not let your heart be troubled. Do not let your heart be troubled. Do not let your heart be troubled. You need to pay attention to what you allow in your heart. To what you allowed in your heart. The house of a woman was full of old junks. Old junks. old newspaper, old cereal container, old items that she ought to have disposed, but she just kept it in her house. To the point that everywhere was filled with those items. To the point that there is no way to pass into the kitchen, to pass into the bedroom, to pass into the bathroom. Why? Because they were all filled, most of them with what had been for over 30 years, still keeping them with her. And then it got to a time, it was so bad that the government needed to intervene in a matter. And then when they asked her, can we help you to get rid of all these ones? He said, no. You see, this one that you are talking about, my children give it to me, and I always want to use it to remember them. By the time they were telling her this, the children were already in their 40s. She still have items that they gave her, probably maybe when the children were 10 years or 5 years. She still have them with her, even when the children have grown to 40 years. This is how many of us are. We are so occupied with thoughts of the past. We are so occupied with the wrongs that people did to us when we ought to have allowed it to get out. We ought to have allowed it to get out. We ought to have allowed it to evaporate out of our lives. We ought to have allowed it to not to even have a stay in our hearts, so that they will not hold us down, that they will not hold us in detention. This woman was so focused on holding on to everything from her past. Little did she realize that it was keeping her from living a full life in the present. Many of us, we ought things in our own minds too. And so we are so tired because of what we have in our mind. We are glued to those things that have happened to us in the past, and then we still hold them fresh in our mind. And because we hold on to those negative thoughts, they disallow us from enjoying the moment. They disallow us from coming into the blessings that God has for us. There are people who are hearing me this morning that they have so many things to unclutter in their mind if they want to see the glory of God. There are so many things that you need to get rid from your mind, because they are holding you from experiencing the glory of God. They are keeping you back from coming into the fullness of His glory. Until you unclutter your mind, until you get rid of those things in your mind, they will stop you from coming into the fullness of God. There is so much you need to get rid of in your mind so that you can enjoy your life. So that you can enjoy your life, you must allow God to intervene into your life through this message and help you to get rid of all those things that you have been keeping in your mind for the past 20 years, keeping in your mind for the past 10 years, keeping in your mind for the past 5 years, that is holding you down from seeing your miracle. Sometimes when things does not work in our life, sometimes when we go through some disappointment, we resolve into the choice of holding them in our heart. We let the disappointment take up a space in our mind. We refuse to let them go. We refuse to let them go. Until we let go, listen to me, child of God, we cannot see the fullness of His power. Sometimes you just have to let go and say, God, I know that you have something better for me. I know that your plans for me, they are good plans. And I know that you are directing my steps. When the medical report is not good, when the contract did not go through, when you are facing some legal situation, you can decide to live worried or stay stress-free. You can either decide to live a worry state life, to live in worry, to begin to ask yourself, what are you going to do? Or you can say, Lord, I know that you are fighting my battles for me. I know that what was meant for my harm, you won't allow it. And I know that you are turning everything around to my own advantage. I may not see the way you are going to turn it around, but I know that you surely have a way of making anything that is meant for my harm from turning them into good. Instead of you to allow the disappointment to have a foothold in your life, why not turn it around into a testimony and release it from your mind? It will keep him in perfect peace if your mind stayed on God. The Bible says there is need for you to keep your heart with all diligence, because out of it are the issues of life. You need to get rid of all those clutters that has occupied your mind, all those noise in your mind, all those drama that you allow to play in your mind, all the stress, all the worry, all the jealousy. There is need for you to get rid of them. Although the thought may come, but you are not permitted to let them have a foothold in your mind. When you allow them to have a foothold in your mind, they will limit your life. They will limit your life. And this is your own responsibility. Like the case of the woman I told you about. When the authority tried to intervene in her matter, she did not allow them. She did not allow them to help her to reduce those burdens that she has placed in her mind. She didn't allow them to help her to throw away the junks. Over 30 years, over 40 years of junk that she's still keeping with her. Choking her up, making everywhere to be smelly. Where there should be space was choked up because they have been occupied with junks. She didn't allow them to help her. So it is your choice. You've got to make the choice this morning and get rid of all those things that you have allowed to occupy your mind, that they are drawing you back in life. Everything in your mind may be telling you to hold on to those trash, to hold on to those unforgiveness, to hold on to those bitterness, to hold on to those pain. Listen to me, child of God. Unclutter your mind this morning. Don't listen to that voice. It wants to keep your life in detention. When your mind is telling you to hold on to that insult, to hold on to that abuse, to hold on to that anger, you must not listen to it. You must not listen to it. You must unclutter your mind. You must put your mind in order. Get rid of all those trash in your mind. That does not matter to your life. That does not matter to your future. That does not matter to your destiny. What are you still doing with the pain of 5 years old? And now you are in your 40, you are in your 50. You are still holding on to the pain of 40 years ago. This is the reason why your life is not knowing any progress. Because your mind is cluttered. It's cluttered with unforgiveness. It's cluttered with pain. It's cluttered with anger. Let go this morning. Let go this morning. Let go this morning. Don't let that clutter in your mind control your life. The Bible says, of the abundance of your heart, your mouth will speak. Your life will speak. He said, keep your heart with all diligence, because out of it are the issues of life. Out of it are the issues of life. Out of it are the issues of life. When you begin to keep those junks in your mind, they will become your normal life. And that is not the life that God wants for you. The Lord wants a celebrated life for you. God wants you to live in the present, not in the past. He said, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. There are people who are still holding on to those junks in their mind. And then to them, they don't see anything wrong having those junks piled up in their mind. And sometimes you too, you are living this kind of life to the point that you allow the junks of many years to see have a foothold in your life. The junks of your primary school to see have a foothold in your life. The junks of your childhood to see have a foothold in your life. Those junks from your childhood, from your past relationship, from your past marriage, you see allow them to have a foothold in your life. The junks from your past place of work, they see have a foothold in your life. The insult, the pain, the evil somebody did to you, you see allow them to have a foothold in your life. Listen to me. Your life will be like what you allow to have a foothold in your life. Keep your heart, the Bible says, put it in order before they begin to dictate your life, before they begin to create a future for you. Maybe you have been worried for so many years and it has become a normal life to you. You can't remember what it was like to be free from that anxiety. Maybe you have lived far too long in a state of guilt and anger. You have been living in past mistakes, allowing them to play in your mind. This is the hour for you to get rid of those things. Negative thoughts, they have a way of piling up until you can't see the past again. They will be piling up. They will be piling up. Negative thoughts, they'll be building up in your mind. And as they build, you won't be able to see far. You'll now be focusing on those negative thoughts. Thoughts that you are not beautiful. Thoughts that you are not gifted. Thought that you cannot do it. Thought that you are not talented. Thought that you are not attractive. Thought that you don't have a good personality. Thought that you cannot do it. You see, when you allow those things in your life, they will be piling up. They will be piling up. And as they pile up, they will clutter your mind. They will clutter your mind. They won't allow you to see clearly. They won't allow you to see further. So what you need to do is to clear out. Go and clear out those garbage. Clear out those clutter in your mind so that you can see past this level. So that you can see past this level. Because the moment you allow those things to be building up in your life, they will block your vision. They will block your future. They won't let you see past that level. But if you can clear them out this morning, if you can unclutter your mind, if you can go and search inward of you and get rid of those thoughts that are not, get rid of those long-term pains in your mind, get rid of those long-term guilt, those long-term mistakes that you still hold in high esteem in your mind. If you can go inward this morning, if you can search yourself deeply this morning and clear your heart and clear your mind from all those things that denies you from coming into your miracle, listen to me, sir. You will see how beautiful your life will be. God is not going to help you to clear it. It is your responsibility. You've got to deliberately make the choice. God will not help you to clear that junks. You are the one that will take the responsibility. Take the responsibility this morning to clear your mind. Take the responsibility this morning to clear your mind so that you can have a peaceful home, so that you can have a peaceful life. You will keep him in perfect peace when your mind stayed on God. It's your responsibility. All those thoughts of you are not good enough, you cannot do it, you are not talented, you are not well educated, they are keeping you down. They are keeping you stationary. You must let them know that they are no more welcome in your life. A new sheriff is in town. They are no more welcome in your mind. You must let them know that you have been fearfully and wonderfully made, and you are beautiful as you are. You are good as you are. God who created you well. Get rid of all those negative thoughts. Get rid of all those trash that are holding you in your mind. All those people that you have put in your mind for many years, go and release them. All those guilt you have in your mind, release it. Release it. If you don't clear out your mind, it will keep you from coming into your new level. It will keep you from coming into your miracle. It will keep you from coming into your testimony. Because they would have become a normal life to you. What God is telling you today is that what you think is a normal life is not the life that God wants for you. It has become a normal life because you have allowed them to pile up in your heart. You have allowed them to model up in your mind. You have allowed them to build themselves up in your life. And then they have created a life for you. Because out of it are the issues of life. So they have created a life for you. And God is saying to you this morning, that is not the life that you are created for. This is not who you were created to be. Until you clear your mind, you cannot be the person you were created to be. Until you clear your heart, you can't be the person you were created to be. So what you need to do this morning is to search inward and clear every guilt you have in your heart. Clear every pain you have in your heart. Clear every unforgiveness you have in your heart. Clear your heart and make it clean. Put your heart in order. Put your heart in order. Put your mind in order so that they will not hold you bound. So that you can come into your new level. So that you can come into your testimony. So that you can come into your breakthrough. Worry will keep you from coming into your original life. Worry will keep you from rising beyond this level. Bitterness will keep you from experiencing new opportunities. Living a stress-free life will cause you to have health problems. When you are living stressed, when you are stressed in your mind, you will fall sick. You will fall sick. So instead of you to be nursing some unnecessary health problems, why not clear your heart of those stress? Clear your heart of all those junks. God is calling you this morning. He won't help you to do it. You are the one that will do it yourself. You can ask him for grace. He will give you grace to clear that junks in your mind that is keeping you from coming into what God has for you. You need to clear that guilt from your mind. Going around feeling guilty will keep you from pursuing your dreams. The challenge I'm giving you this morning is to put your mind in order. Let it go. Let it go. I understand that they hurt you. I understand that they did what is wrong to you, but let it go. You are bitter. You are upset because of what they did to you, but let it go. What happened many, many years ago. Why are you still holding on to it? Let it go. Why are you still bitter over the person? Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You are still upset over the company that you work with. Let it go. Let it go. Apostle Paul says, I forget those things that are behind. I keep my focus straight. I forget those things that are behind. Let it go. What happened to you in the past. So let it follow it. Let it be your past. And don't think. Bible says, remember it no more. Let it go. Just move on. Move on. Don't be bitter over the person. Let it go. Yes, the person left you. No problem. But let it go. You don't have to clutter your mind. That's what I'm telling you this morning. The only organ that God has given to you to be who he has called you to be is your heart. So don't occupy it with what is not. Don't fill your heart with what is not, what will hold you down. What will drag you back? What will stop you from experiencing your new opportunities? What will stop you from experiencing your new level? What will stop you from coming into the life that God has for you? Is those things that you are holding in your mind. So you must clear them this morning. Put your mind in order. Don't let them poison your future. Don't hurt them, sir. Let them go. Let them go. Don't let them continue to haunt you. Don't let them continue to freeze your destiny. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Identify those things that are blocking your mind. Identify those things that are trying to create a life that is not your life for you. And clear them away. Clear your mind. Free your mind. Free your mind. Free your mind. Let it go. Let it go. That's your son that you are holding in your mind because he or she did what is wrong to you. Let it go. Let it go. Don't clutter your mind. Let it go. Don't clutter your mind. Let it go. Whatever want to stop the new things that God has in store for you, let it go. Let it go. One thing you must understand is this: God does not look at your face, He's looking at your heart. And the moment God looked at your heart and saw it cluttered, He won't be able to give you the miracle He wants to give you. He won't be able to give you the healing He wants to give you. He won't be able to give you the breakthrough He wants to give you. Jesus got to His hometown and then He couldn't do many mighty works there. You know why? Because of the state of their mind. They are still holding on to junks in their mind. He said He couldn't do many mighty works there. So whatever will stop Jesus from doing mighty works in your life, let it go. Let it go. Don't clutter your mind. Put your mind in order. Put your mind in order. Put your mind in order. I know that what they did to you hurt you. Those people who left you, those who desert, I know that they hurt you. But hear me, sir. This is not the time to be making excuses for their behavior. This is not the time to be holding on to what is not. Make up your mind and release them from your heart. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. The moment you are holding on to the wrongs in your mind, you are giving power to the enemy to control your life, to control your destiny. You are giving them the control of your life. So you have to let go so that you can be in control. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. So that you can come into the joy that God has for you. The energy you will use in holding on to that grudge can be used for something vital to your destiny. The energy you will use in holding that pain in your mind, in holding that fellow in your mind, you should have used it for something vital. So let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Trusting God that God is going to give you beauty for ashes. You must clear out every clutter in your mind and allow God to replace it with peace. Let God replace it with joy. Let God replace it with beauty. You must let go of all the ashes, all the junks you have in your mind so that beauty can come in. God says, I will give you beauty for ashes. So you must first of all clear those ashes in your mind so that beauty can come in. Clear them. Clear them. Clear those thoughts. There's no way you are going to hold on to junks and expect God to give you beauty. So you must first of all clear the junk so that your life can look beautiful. If the woman had allowed those junks to be trashed for her, her life, her house should have looked more beautiful. Freshness would have come into her life. But because she was holding on to what is not, everything became choked. House became choked. Holding on to 40 years issue. It has already cluttered the mind, cluttered everywhere. No more passage for her. So she could not live in the present. She was still living in the past. And because she lived in the past, she doesn't know that life has moved past that level. Let it go so that beauty can come. Let it go so that peace can come. Let it go so that joy can come. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. As long as you allow your mind to be out of order, it will keep God from turning things around in your life. God is going to work mightily in your life when your mind is in order. But when your mind is not in order, God will not be able to work. So what is keeping God from working in your life is the junks, is the trash, is the unforgiveness, is the bitterness, is the worry, is the pain you have allowed to settle in the heart. So for God to work in your life, you must first of all clear those junks away. Clear those junks away. Don't listen to the threat that the enemy is saying to you, because sometimes when you listen to their threat, when you listen to the big threat that they are giving to you, it will begin to build up some fear in you. God does not want you to live in fear. He wants you to live in faith. He wants you to live in faith. The king of Assyria was boasting himself against Hezekiah and the people of Judah. He said, don't let your God deceive you. Every nation I conquered, they also have God. And I defeated them, and their God could not deliver them out of my hands. So anytime, listen to me, the enemy is trying to make a big mouth, trying to put fear and threat in your life. Anytime you are facing some big enemy, always remind yourself that you have a big God that is bigger than that enemy. Anytime sickness came knocking at your door, you must understand that you are serving a bigger God. A God that is bigger than that cancer. A God that is bigger than that high blood pressure. A God that is bigger than that heart failure. Always remind yourself of the bigness of God. Always remind yourself of the bigness of God. It doesn't matter the situation that is staring you in the face. It is not a reason for you to be worried over it. Why? Because you are serving a greater God. Greater than any financial challenge. Greater than any sickness and diseases. Greater than any setback whatsoever. It doesn't matter the issue that is going on in your life. Put your mind in order. 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 Sometimes when people come to me for prayer, I always tell them, just put your mind in order. Because I know that when your mind is out of order, it will hinder God from working in your life. You must put your mind in order and stop thinking over that pain. Stop thinking over that issue. Put your mind in order. The woman came to the prophet, and then she began to narrate everything in her heart. What was in her heart? Debt was in her heart. So she began to speak out of fear. The creditor is come to take my 2 sons. The prophet said, relax. Put your mind in order. Put your mind in order. Put your mind in. You are serving a God that is bigger than the enemy. A God that is bigger. So always remind yourself of the bigness of God. Don't let the situation be big in your eyes that you make God small. It doesn't matter what you are going through, God is bigger. God is bigger. God is bigger. God is bigger. Just remind yourself of the greatness of God. Remind yourself of the power of God. If he can make way on the sea, what can he not do? If he can make way on the sea, what can he not do? If he can call out water from the rock, what can he not do? If he can call out a baby from Hannah, what can he not do? Hannah could not have a child because she was worried with so many things. Pressure from the husband, pressure from the rival. And because of that, she just muddled things up in her mind, living in worry and fear. But the day she was no more sad, the day she uncluttered her mind, the day she put her mind in order, baby came. It could be one of the reasons why your joy has not come is because you are worried with so many things. The Bible says, be anxious for nothing, but by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, make your request known to God. What I'm saying to you this morning is that you do not have to be worried over anything. You must be very careful with what you allow to have a foothold in your life. Don't keep junks in your mind. Clear your mind of every junk. Let your mind stay on God. Let your mind stay on God. Don't let fear cover your mind. Don't let doubt keep you from coming into your miracle. Don't let what people say talk you out of your destiny. Don't listen to all their threat. Don't listen to their intimidation. Always look at the bigness of God. Look at the bigness of your God. Look at the bigness of God. Look at the bigness of God. Let me conclude by saying, there are a lot of noise in these days. A lot of drama. A lot of things to worry about. There are a lot of doubt flowing in the heart of men. A lot of jealousy, anger, pain. And this seems to cover, to clutter their mind so that they cannot come into their destiny. So they cannot come into their glory. You are to pay attention only to what will move your life forward. You must be very careful with what you allow into your heart. Be very careful so that they will not stop you from coming into your joy. Don't allow any situation to bring you into worry. Don't allow any situation to make you worry. Don't allow any situation to put fear in you. Don't allow any situation to make you insecure. Don't let it take up any space in your mind. The hour for you to clear your mind is now, so that you can come into the glory that God has for you. You must fix your mind only on what God says about you. You must fix your mind only on what God has declared about you. When you do this, you will surely see the glory of God. When you do this, you will see the favor of God. When you do this, you will come into your breakthrough. You will come into your healing. When Anna cleared her mind, the Bible says, and her countenance was no more sad, then God remembered her. So God had been waiting for her to unclutter her mind so that he can remember her and give her a child. So what has been stopping the miracle was the junks in her mind. So this morning, clear your mind of every junks so that your whole miracle can come in. I pray for you today. Let grace abound for you. Grace to put your mind in order so that you will not miss your miracle, so that you will not miss your testimony, so that you will not miss your opportunity. Grace to come into the peace that God has for you. Let the grace be released unto you right now. Your miracle will not pass you by. Your blessing will not pass you by. Your testimony will not pass you by. I command every worry that is holding you in detention to let you go. I command every worry holding your life and your destiny in detention to let you go. Every pain, every guilt, every jealousy in your mind that is holding your life in detention, they release you now. You will see the glory of God. In Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed.